Hi, Pisces. Okay, Taurus. The Hierophant with Taurus. 4 of Wands, 2 of Wands, 4 of Swords, the Magician, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I really jumped right out there and said Taurus. The Hierophant is symbolic of a Taurus, so for some of you there could be a strong earth sign around you that is interested. Now there's a strong notion of marriage here, so for some of you there is someone married and already committed that's wanting a relationship with you or wanting romance with you. I'm just going to put that out there, Pisces. You are very desirable, and there's someone who's already coupled up that is wanting you. Now, this could be someone with their own business. This could be someone that has a collaboration around them too. But traditionally, the Hierophant with the 4 of Wands speaks volumes of marriage. Now, for those that are coupled up in an existing long-term relationship or in a marriage, you've got wonderful things coming up for you in terms of romance this holiday period. A very harmonious cycle that you'll be entering into, whether you have children, whether you're newlyweds, whether you're engaged, or whether you've just been in a long-term partnership. For some of you, there's wedding bells coming in, so a proposal is happening this holiday season. So this is really exciting, Pisces. It's something you've been waiting for. I think you've talked about this before, and this person is, pulling out all the stops and being really sweet and thoughtful, and there's something of a build-up happening here. So, look, I don't want to spoil it too much for you, but for some, there is wedding bells, engagements, or commitments, serious commitments that are happening this holiday season. But look, the Hierophant can symbolize someone with a specialized field of knowledge. This person could work with collaborations, could work with client relations or other people. They could also work with very successful people and help manage them or bring them clients or customers or some sort of wholesalers or networks of some kind here. So this is possible because the Hierophant is someone that's very talented and skilled and is someone that's looked to. I feel like this person is either the alpha female or the alpha male in their circle. They're quite well respected. They're a good advisor. They're quite life learned. They have a lot of wisdom. And they could be highly religious and or spiritual as well with the Hierophant. But I see there's a lot of people looking to this person here. So this notion of looking at someone so intently could also be the way that this person looks at you. But I feel for some, this person has been staring at you for a while now, almost staring at a distance. They're very intrigued by you, Pisces, and they definitely have their eye on you. But for some, this is someone that is married and is taken. But the 4 of Wands, this is a beautiful celebration. For some of you, you're meeting someone or you're being introduced to someone at an event, at a Christmas party, a celebration, a birthday, an opening, a book launch, or something like this. It's someone that's quite worldly and cultured. They're a good conversationalist, quite well articulated, well spoken, very well informed, very aware with current events, have a lot of varied interests as well. I feel like conversation will just flow. So this is really nice, but this is strong fire energy with the 4 of Wands, an Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo. Again, as I mentioned, this person could be married or have been married in their past, but they've got a strong notion here of marriage. Look, it could even be that they have a license to wed other people. Like maybe they're a minister or for example. So I feel like they have this around them for some reason or another, or something to do with contracts. But this is a celebration here. This is someone that's quite festive, quite outgoing, quite social. They're quite a social butterfly, I feel. They have quite a large network of friends, professionally and personally as well. But I think there's something to do with an event here for some of you. And I think it's just going to be, even if you are coupled up, there's a lot of events you'll be attending, and it's just ride the wave, Pisces, because it looks absolutely beautiful. It really does. You do have more fire with the 2 of Wands, however, more Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo energy that's coming through here. But something about a choice or a decision. This notion of back and forth or having a base and being elsewhere is also coming through, Pisces. So this could be a long distance relationship for some of you. If this is the case, I feel like it's almost like you're reconciling here. Maybe it's a family gathering, other people invited, or a celebration. Maybe you're celebrating an anniversary this holiday season as well. But I really feel like for a lot of you, things are moving into something serious for those that have an established connection, in particular with a fire sign or an earth sign. And you do have the sign of Aries, which has come up with the Magician here. So this is quite exciting. This is a notion of travel and adventure, however. So for some, you'll be meeting someone at a bar, at a club, at a social gathering overseas, or possibly near a religious venue or a spiritual venue of some kind. Say, for example, you're traveling to India and you're visiting the Taj Mahal and you bump into this person, or maybe you're visiting the UK and visiting all these medieval historic sites, or maybe Rome, visiting the beautiful monumental architecture of Rome and the Roman Empire. So look, I think there's interest from this person in history and things like this, so they're quite intellectually open, which is nice. But interesting how there's the two, so there may be two people that are quite interested in you, Pisces, this holiday season, or you may be choosing between two different people, two different fire signs, possibly a Taurus and an Aries. There is air energy as well here in the cards. Two, with the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, I feel like this person is coming out of their shell, because the Four of Swords is coming out of a slumber or is needing to go into a slumber. So for some of you, I feel like communication is going to stop with one person and it's actually going to be picked up with someone else. For those that have had a somewhat stagnant cycle in their relationship, communication hasn't been on par, you just haven't feel really connected, this may change, because that's a big leap to go from the Four of Swords to the Queen of Swords. This is a substantial leap. It's in communication. So leaps and bounds, expressing yourselves, being open, communicative, talking about getting more serious or talking more. So more consistent communication is coming up here for you. So this is really good. But this also speaks of possibly a time of solitude or time to retreat or a time to spend time with family or alone or go on holiday. So there is someone foreign coming in for some of you. Or a trip, a travel opportunity will actually reignite the spark you have or have had once upon a time with your lover here. Now, the Magician is here. Beautiful manifestations are taking place with the Magician. I feel for some of you, this is someone who is very talented and or successful, possibly has their own business, or again, as I mentioned, has a very specialized field of knowledge. And this person is coming forward here and they've got a lot going for them. But what they're missing is romance, and they're wanting to find it with you. This is an Aries in particular. Sometimes a Magician is seen as a Gemini as well. So, you know, this may be open to interpretation. But I feel with the Gemini here, there's a natural affinity to the with the Aries. With the Magician here, I feel like there's a natural affinity to this person. For some of you, a person you may be meeting during this holiday season is actually the person you'll end up married to. Look at that. You'll travel, you'll get married, you'll get engaged, you'll do that whole thing because there's a church atmosphere here, and it might not necessarily happen within that holiday season, but it could indicate that the person you meet, for some of you Pisceans out there, is actually someone that is destined to be in your future as a partner or life partner. It could also be through career or similar interests, which I think I've mentioned for you before, Pisces. I think similar interests or talents will actually bring you together with this person, or there's the notion of they're quite similar in you in a lot of ways, in terms of their interests or their talents or their creative pursuits. So it could be that individual creative pursuits actually bring the two of you together, because you're either working on a project together or working on something very, very similar. Someone's going to be communicating their feelings or just wanting to communicate with you around the clock here, Pisces. Possibly there's an invitation to go on a business trip or a holiday trip, or to join someone for Christmas or New Year this holiday season. So this is quite exciting. Queen of Swords shows that this is someone who is mentally very direct. They're very confident. They have a good perception of love. They're in a good place right now. I feel like they're very available. Of course, this won't apply for everyone out there, for all Pisceans, but for some, this could be an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius who is coming forward with communication, who is being quite persistent, who is inviting you to a lot of events and showing interest and wanting you to be a part of their world. Like this could even be someone that's seeking advice for you in terms of their creative pursuits because of maybe similar interests, but really they're just trying to give you a hint that they're actually interested in you much more than this. But the Queen of Swords does show marvelous communication that's coming through. So even if you are married, recently married, celebrating an anniversary, this shows that the two of you will connect very well intellectually here this holiday season. So this is lovely.